everybody, welcome back to my channel. Unless you're new, then hello, my name is Tori. So today I'm going to be reviewing When We Were Young. However, I'm going to be doing a VIP versus general admission type of review. I was lucky enough to go to both of the days. I know there was 3 days, however, we will get into that. The first day I went, I actually got VIP tickets, and then the second day I went, I got a general admission ticket, and I thought it'd be fun to kind of compare both of them, so then you guys can decide if you want to go as a general admission or a VIP. The price difference is like $400. I think for VIP I spent like $700-ish on my ticket, and for my general admission ticket I paid like $350 or something like that. Also, I got a bunch of merch from When We Were Young, so I am going to be changing throughout this video to show off all the merch that I got. But this was one of the shirts that I got. I just liked the tie-dye. I thought it was really pretty. So the first day, day 0 as we're going to call it, didn't end up happening. I live in Las Vegas and the winds here get really scary. So when I saw that it was canceled because of the wind, I was so worried because I know that sometimes the Vegas wind will stay here for like a week straight, but also sometimes it will literally disappear the next day and everything will be fine. So I was actually in California from Thursday to Sunday, and I was driving back home to Vegas, and this is what I was driving through. So when I say the Las Vegas winds, not a joke, it was crazy. I couldn't even see the car in front of me for a little bit of the drive because of how windy it was. So the first day of When We Were Young, I went as a VIP guest, so all of day 1 is going to be VIP experience, so just keep that in mind. We got there at roughly 10 in the morning because we did spend so much money on these tickets. I at least wanted to get the entire day worth of VIP experience. The first band we wanted to see played at 11. The traffic was insane. If you do not like driving in traffic, do not try to park your car there. Take a bus, take an Uber, literally do anything but park your car there. I have severe anxiety when it comes to driving to places and not knowing about parking. So this was awful. 0 out of 10. We ended up parking at Circus, which was the closest hotel. It was literally right across the street from the actual venue. Parking was $50, 50 full dollars. Luckily, the first day we went, the lady did not charge us for parking, so we parked. Everything was great, and then there was a giant, when I say giant, it was a giant line. Like, I'm going to draw for you. So this is the event. The line went out, went all the way down like a block, then went back up maybe like 2 blocks. I should said it lower, but it literally would have taken you maybe an hour or 2 to get through this line. However, the line was optional, that we learned. Once you actually got to the gates, there were like 5 different lines that you could have just walked in. So we just walked around the line. There was no security telling everybody to just not get in the line and just walk and go. So that was a little hectic. It definitely made me feel a little worried for the rest of the event. But once we got in, there were a row of metal detectors and lines. There were a couple of VIP lines down here, then General Admission Plus, then I think like a Verizon line for if you had Verizon, you just gotta go. And then the rest of them were General Admission. And then there was also a booth for if you were over 21 to get a 21 plus wristband, because you did need it for any type of drink purchases. Even if they were just water, you still needed a wristband. So we just went through the VIP line and we saw the ready set at 11. So the way that the VIP worked is there would be a little thing for you to scan your wristband, and then you were allowed access to a fenced off little area right in front of the stage. So this was like our view for the ready set. We were really close. He was very good. However, they needed to turn the instruments down because it was so loud. Like, you could feel it in like your bones. And I do know that normally stuff like this, very loud, that's fine with me. But this was like, you couldn't even hear him sing anymore. That's how loud it was. After the ready set, we all went to the bathroom because that was another one of the VIP add-ons that you got. You got air-conditioned bathrooms, and they were just nice little trailers that you could walk into. I didn't film anything in the bathroom because I thought that was a little weird, and I didn't want to be a creepy person just filming the bathrooms. It was a very nice bathroom experience, especially if you've ever been to Warped Tour and you had to use one of their porta potties. They start out okay in the beginning of the morning, but as you go on, they get more and more sketchy. So in one of the VIP area in front of the pink and black stage, which was like the main stages, there were the restrooms as well as like bars and a little bit of food there as well. And then there was a merch table. There was just one. And I decided to wait in line for When We Were Young merch because like I wanted some cute merch, you know? Like I just wanted some fun merch. So I stood in line for roughly an hour and a half. That's a long time to be standing in line, especially if you're a VIP guest. What kind of irked me a little bit was there was maybe 10 bar tables next to this one merch table that nobody was using. Literally nobody was going up to get drinks or anything. So in my opinion, they should have converted some of those tables into merch tables to kind of make the line go a lot faster. Eventually, I got some merch. I got a cute little bag as well as some of the shirts I'm going to show you. Also, with the whole merch thing, they ended up doing an online store anyways, and I feel like that information should have been given to the VIP guests, so then they didn't wait in line at the event when they could have just been going and watching more bands and then just bought all their merch online. So I personally think that that should have either been early access to VIP or at least let them know that there's going to be an online merch store after the event happens. Because I probably would not have waited in line for an hour and a half if I would have known that I could have just bought all the merch online afterwards and not have to like carry it around all day. So after the merch, we went and saw 303 at like 3-ish. I also did just get a cat, so if you hear a little bell, it's her running around being a little cat. So after 303, Pierce the Veil went on the black stage, so my little group went back to the VIP area and we stood pretty close to Pierce the Veil. One of the benefits of having a VIP pass is you instantly got access to the pit for the pink stage and the black stage. So you can literally just walk straight to the pit and be good and have your own little spot. Well, for general admission for those two stages, you had to wait in a pit line to even get in. And at some point, roughly around Pierce the Veil, they would cut off the line because no one would be leaving the general admission pit anymore. So then you had to stand way further back in another little gated area to watch everybody. So if you got VIP, you just gotta cut that whole line. And they also weren't cutting people off, I think. From 3:30 to basically closing, we stayed in that VIP pit. So we were really close to the stage. We saw Pierce the Veil. We saw the Used.
The only requirement for a Used concert is that everybody fucking smiles, alright?
AFI. Jimmy Eat World. Taking Back Sunday. And A Day to Remember. And we just ended up right in between the two stages. So we would literally watch the black stage, and as soon as they were done, like rotate 90 degrees and watch the pink stage. And then Avril Lavigne went on, which for me, that was the one artist that I saw that like really made me feel like When We Were Young vibe, because I would listen to her with my mom when I was like 7. So to see her perform that close was amazing. She also did a song with Mod Sun. As well as she covered, I think it was What's My Age Again with the singer from All Time Low. After Avril Lavigne went on, came Bright Eyes. and my boyfriend was really excited to see Bright Eyes perform because he liked some of his music. I had no clue who he was, but Bright Eyes went on, and that's when everything started to go downhill. As soon as he went on, everybody kind of was looking around at each other because everyone could tell that he was visibly drunk or just, he was clearly out of it. He would go on tangents and rants about random things, and all of these rants took up so much of his time that he had to cut songs from their set. You know, again, I'm not a huge Bright Eyes fan, but from what I got from him saying, he was performing only from his new albums and not any of his old stuff, which would have made sense for when we were young, you know? The entire crowd started sitting down, which is kind of crazy to me and was one of the first bands that really happened to. But there were chunks of the crowd who just sat. So after they went on, Bring Me the Horizon played, and they were fantastic.
Hello, and welcome to the Bring Me the Horizon Post-Human Live Experience. Bring Me the Horizon would like to thank you once again for being here tonight. We would like to remind each and every one of you to look after each other, have fun, do what you want to do, and most importantly, be who you want to be. Are you ready to proceed? Very well. Initializing APE version 666. Enjoy your experience. Initializing. Can you feel my heart?
This was one of the bands that had to cut their set, I believe, short because somebody in the crowd fell or something happened, so he actually had to stop the show for a little bit so he could continue his show safely.
Just bear with us, guys. Thank you very much for your patience. If there's something going on over there, please back up. Give the person space. Let the security come in and do their job. Thank you very much.
We love you, Ollie!
So this goes mainly back towards Astroworld. When this was originally announced, everybody was saying it was going to be the same thing as Astroworld, and that is the event where people started stampeding and crushing the crowd, and people actually died because of it. The artist who was performing didn't stop the show. So after Bring Me played, Paramore went on. At roughly 9:40, Haley, beautiful, I love her. She was talking about how the emo scene was supposed to be very accepting and very protective of everybody in it, but crusty old white men make it a very hostile place for like women, people of color, the LGBTQ plus community. And while she's talking about this, a old crusty white man standing right in front of me just starts heckling her and starts yelling kind of rude things at her, and I was like, you sir are what she's talking about, like stop it.
This started in the mid-80s as something that had vision, and it was started by some dudes that thought that punk rock should make more space for alternative people inside of alternative music. I think that it started off pretty well. You had Minor Threat. We got lost along the way. And in the early 2000s, when Paramore came onto the scene, roughly about 2005, the scene was not always a safe place to be if you were different. If you were a young woman, if you were a person of color, if you were queer. And that's really fucked up if you think about it. Because this was supposed to be the safe place, wasn't it? So, we've been around for almost 20 years, and I've had my fill of letting older people, especially older men, tell me what punk rock is and tell me what punk rock is not.
She went on, her set was great, and then My Chemical Romance went on.
Say that. When I was a young boy, my father
and they went on as old people. They had entire old face prosthetics on their faces, and they looked like little old men. Up until this point, I have been standing in this pit for roughly 7 hours. I didn't even realize I was doing until the next day when I was thinking back about what I just did and how I was standing there for 7.5 hours. I also didn't eat any food, drink any water, take care of my body. So I do this super fun thing of, if I haven't eaten or like drank any water in a prolonged period of time, and I'm dancing around or I get hot, I do tend to get a little sick and vomit. Definitely guys, if you go to any event, please drink water, please eat food. I was just so excited to be that close to the stage that I just didn't want to move. I just wanted to stay there and just watch everybody perform and have a good old time. Then My Chemical Romance started to play. I believe it was Planetary Go. I love My Chemical Romance Danger Days. It's one of my favorite albums. So when I heard it, I knew you're going to jump around, then you're going to vomit. So just be prepared. So I give the camera to Robbie because I'm filming everything. I'm gonna jump the whole time. I get halfway through the song and I get that feeling where you know you're going to throw up. So I'm like, okay. I tell Robbie, I'm like, Robbie, I need to go. I'm going to throw up soon. You can stay here or you can go with me. That's up to you, but I'm leaving. I'm literally 6 rows from the barrier. So in my brain, it's easier to just jump the barrier than try to get out from the back because there's literally more than 6 rows behind me. So I'm like, okay. Excuse me everybody, and I just tell everyone, excuse me, I'm going to throw up, please let me through. Everybody lets me through, we're doing good, until we get to the barrier, and there is this big man just standing at the barrier with his friend next to him, and I tap him on the shoulder and I'm like, excuse me, I'm going to throw up, can I please get over the barrier? And he literally looks at me and laughs. He laughs at my face as I'm like panicking, like, I'm gonna throw up, please, like, I'm gonna vomit, like, please let me through. I asked him to move maybe 6 or 7 times. If that man is watching this, I'm very mad at you. I should have thrown up on you. You should be very grateful that I did not throw up on you, but I wish I did. Luckily, there were some nice girls standing next to this very mean, sad man. No one helps me over this gate or this barrier. I just walk over it. Like, I don't even know how I got over that barrier so fast. I literally just, boop, just instantly over the barrier, and I vomit to Planetary Go. That's not how I wanted to end the night personally. I definitely wish I would have just eaten some food, drank some water while I was there. So after I'm done vomiting, they tell us that we need to leave. We get taken to the general admission pit and we just stand in the very back. And I feel great again. Normally after I throw up like this, I normally feel okay afterwards, like I'm not like sick. It's just I over partied and I did not take care of myself. We finished off my chem set towards the back, and then fireworks went off and it was great, and then we're all asked to leave and we all leave, and it was a great night. Was VIP worth it? For me, 100%. I 100% think the VIP is worth it. Even if it's just for one day, I think it's worth it. I saw 10 plus bands up close, like 6 rows away from them, away from the barrier up close. And if you were to take all 10 of those bands and see how much tickets were or pit tickets were, it would easily be over $1,000. So to pay $700 to get a full day, I think it was worth it. The only thing I would say that could improve VIP would be the merch tables. To offer more than just one merch table, because when we went to general admission, they had like 6 to 8 merch tables per merch thing, and VIP just got 1 merch table and that was all you got. You didn't even get like artist merch or anything. And the merch table for VIP didn't even have all of the items that the general admission merch table did. So I do think that they could have at least added more merch tables and or offered like a code to VIP to get them into the online store early. earlier. And they should have also offered more food, or maybe like a food voucher to VIP. Again, with general admission, like I'm going to talk about in a little bit, general admission had a huge selection of food. So I went ahead and changed my shirts to this one. I thought it was really cute. It's very sceney. If you like more than 10 bands, especially if they are like the bigger ones that you think would be performing on the black or pink stage, like the main stages, 100% get it. You get really close to them. Also, like your wait time for outside is pretty short. You get nice bathrooms. Overall, I think it was worth it. Since we went the first day, we didn't really want to go until later, so we ended up arriving at 1 p.m. and the traffic was even worse the second day. It was so bad. So if you do plan on driving there, go as early as you possibly can to beat a majority of the traffic. But no joke, we were in line to park for maybe 30-45 minutes. It was crazy. But once we parked, the lady did charge me for parking the second day, which was that's fine, you know. Since we got there so late, all of the lines to get in just became general admission, so there was no line to get in whatsoever. They also added a pop-up merch store on the outside, so if you just wanted to go and buy merch, you could just easily buy merch and leave. And I definitely do think that helped inside a little bit because the merch lines were a lot more calm this time around. We caught like the last song for We the Kings at roughly 1:35. After that, we decided to try to do a good majority of the actual things that they offered there. So we went to a Google experience thing, which was actually really cute. They had spray-on tattoos there. Robbie's about to get a tattoo! They had like a little emo themed bedroom that you can like switch out the CDs on the little like CD player. After that, we saw Pierce the Veil, and this was our view. As you can tell, we were a lot farther back this time. So this was the first day view, and this was the second day view. We were not lucky enough to get into the pit because they closed it at that point. We were stuck very, very far away from Pierce the Veil, which was okay because we already saw them, and they were still really good from really far. After that, we ended up actually getting food because I learned my lesson from the last time, and we got fries, pulled pork, and a lemonade, and then also like a little thing of water, and it was $40. So the food there was definitely expensive. However, Coca-Colas were only $3, which is pretty good. If you've ever been to Warped Tour, they normally charge you like $7 for a bottle of water, but now they were only like $4, so that's pretty good. Like I said before, the general admission had so much food. There was probably 20 different tables that you can eat at. They had everything from like rice bowls to pizza to turkey legs to like barbecue. They literally had everything there. They even had hot chocolate. So we kind of just hung out for like a little bit and ate some food, and then we saw Mom Jeans. So after that, we went back to the pink and black stage and we saw Taking Back Sunday and A Day to Remember. So we were still pretty far, but as each band would go, there'd be a good chunk of the crowd that would leave, and then you would be able to go up like 5-6 rows. But after those two bands, Avril Lavigne actually wasn't going to play the third day, and her set was going to be taken over by Death Cab for Cutie, and I was so hyped because I love Death Cab. Death Cab for Cutie played almost their entire set was the really old stuff.
Do you know this one? This is like a poem. For the poem.
A good chunk of the crowd was again very confused and did not know the songs they played, and they didn't even play I'll Follow You Into the Dark.
They're still doing poetry. I'm very confused. I don't think they're gonna play it.
After them, we wanted to stay to see if Bright Eyes was going to play again, and they did. So we left after like 1 or 2 songs. He was not talking at the beginning, so I thought maybe he was a little bit, you know, a little bit more sober this time around. But after we left, apparently he started saying some really weird things. When I saw that, I was so surprised that they did not move his set. In my opinion, they should have moved his set earlier in the day and just shifted everybody else back. Apparently that's how he is when he performs normally, and literally everyone was sitting down. Like there were maybe 20 rows of people all sitting down in a large group. So after that we ended up getting more food. We got some more fries, lemonade, and this time Robbie got a turkey leg because he really likes turkey legs, which was another $40. And then we ended the night with watching Sleeping with Sirens. As well as Dance Gavin Dance. They did great. High-key, Dance Gavin Dance was probably my favorite performance that I saw that day. We also went and got merch from the artists as well as When We Were Young merch booth for general admission, and there was no line. We also did end up leaving before My Chemical Romance went on because we did see them 2 weeks before that, and then also the first night of When We Were Young, so we just decided to leave and beat the traffic. I think general admission was 100% worth it as long as you don't mind being a little bit farther from the stage, or if it was a 2-day festival. If it was a 2-day festival, that general admission ticket would 100,000,000% be worth it. Then you could just like plan strategically who you're gonna see and when. But since it's only a 1 day, as long as you don't mind being a little bit further from the stage, I definitely think paying $350 to see all those bands, 100% worth it. I think this was a super fun event to go to. I will 100% be trying to go for 2023. That lineup is a little bit more pop punky, and that's the type of music I listen to, especially when Blink-182 is going to be playing and they charge like $400-500 for tickets to their show. Some things I would change about this festival. You need to book a bigger venue. I don't mind if it's not in Las Vegas. There's some really good venues down in California that could actually have that many people there. Please make it a 2-day festival. That will make so many people so happy. The last Warped Tour was actually a 2-day Warped Tour, and that was beautiful and amazing. You could even just use the venue there and it would give you so much more space. You can like spread out the stages a lot more. You could even add more stages. This is an idea that you guys can have. Please make elder emo first aid kits. Please include ibuprofen, maybe some earplugs, maybe a little Pedialyte in there. You know, stuff for elder emos. You could even put it in a cute little black first aid box, sell it for like 15-20 bucks. People, I would 100% buy that. Like I said before, please add more merch booths in the VIP section to make that line go a lot faster. Maybe give the VIP a little food pass so they could quickly get something from one of the food booths. Like I said previously, I think that they should give VIP a little code to go into the merch store maybe early, so then they don't have to wait in line at the merch booths there. Overall, they did a very good job at keeping everybody on time and not have the artists overlap each other. Especially for the black and pink stages, they would have to set up and tear down complete sets really quickly and have everybody test their instruments and microphones just as the other band was playing. But they did it in such a way that wasn't very like distracting towards the audience. I would literally be watching the band, look over, see them start setting up, watch the band a little bit more. After like 2 songs, look over, and the stage is like set for, at least I think it was the Stripe stage. They actually had a rotating stage, which was pretty cool. I thought that was just like a little joke, but they said that, oh, that's how they're gonna do it. But I think that worked pretty well. So that was my When We Were Young VIP versus general admission review. I hope you guys liked it. If you went to When We Were Young, please leave your thoughts down in the comment section below because I want to see how it was for you guys. I personally had a blast, super fun. I'm also going to be putting together a vlog type video, so if you want to watch that, you can click the video up in the corner or also check the description. I'll also add it down there. But if you want to see more of a vlog style video, go watch those, and I'll see y'all later. Bye!